I'm just kind of sir. Welcome to the Arsenal fan experience. Today I'll be going in depth into the Arsenal Southampton game. As we get into today, Arsenal's been struggling of late. It's no wonder why, as they've had to play innumerable amount of games in the past 2 weeks, and obviously they've have been lacking energy. But as they return home today after a disappointing match on Monday, they really look to today. They look to recapture the form that they were in for all those months, and with Southampton not being the most difficult of opponents that Arsenal's faced in the past 2 weeks, it was bound for Arsenal to take it to them and decimate them. But that wasn't true when originally. As we look at the starting lineup today, a very similar starting lineup to the game against Everton. But the most surprising thing to me is the fact that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was not only not in the starting 11, but not on the bench either. And that just goes to show how poor he's been this season and how he's almost being considered a liability now. And it just goes to show how quickly things can change for players of caliber. And I don't really wonder what the future of him is at this club. As the game started, Southampton had a decent amount of chances in the game, and if once again Aaron Ramsdale bailed the Gunners out, and Southampton had some quality free kicks by James Ward-Prowse that just went on, and a shot by him as well that Ramsdale just managed to save. So it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Arsenal in the first 20 minutes, but that would change in the 21st minute, where through excellent passing play, which I had the privilege of seeing an overhead camera view of it later on in the game. But through great passing play, the ball ended up at Alexander Lacazette's feet, and he put it past emergency signing Willy Caballero, who I have to give credit for how he's been able to have such a lengthy career, especially in the Premier League at the top level. Didn't look that impressive today, but I give him credit for doing the best he could with what he was given. I also think that Arsenal is frustrated with how things weren't going their way early on, as Bukayo Saka and Gabriel would both receive a yellow card, and fortunately they remained relatively disciplined for the rest of the game. That's just something they need to keep an eye out for in future games. Through a great ball over the top into the box, Kieran Tierney was able to. Furthermore, Arsenal kept pressing, and through a great ball over the top into the box, Kieran Tierney was able to control it. Although originally he fanned on the cross, and it went off the back of Tino Livramento, and it just so happened that Martin Odegaard once again was there, and he headed the ball into the net. And after a few games when he was in a drought, he's scored in back-to-back games now. So that's really encouraging for him. And pretty much the rest of the first half remained uneventful, except for the fact that Adam Armstrong had to go off injured, and in his place came Mohamed Elyounoussi. But overall, Arsenal came into the end of the first half with a 2-0 lead. And as they began the second half, it did not look like they were giving Southampton any leeway, as in the 57th minute, off a corner kick, it looked off a Gabriel Martinelli corner kick. It looked like Gabriel, no coincidence, what a coincidence there, put in a shot that beat Caballero on the far post, but it was looked at by VAR, and to be honest, I more so saw it as a interference with the goalkeeper as to why it was being looked at by VAR, but actually it was looked at by VAR because it was potential offside, and it was subsequently ruled offside. So that was unfortunate. But Gabriel would get his redemption only 4 minutes later off this of a very similar, it was almost deja vu, similar play where he would end up heading it past Caballero and giving Arsenal a 3-0 lead. And they kept pressuring. It was incredible. They hit the post a couple times, getting a great chance. Martinelli as well, and to think that they could have really suffered with the uh, horrendous weather in London as it was raining throughout the entirety of the game. But no, they used that to their advantage actually. And you think that Southampton playing on the coast where it's more susceptible to rain would be more comfortable in this, but they were not. They did not look comfortable in their own skin today. It's not been a very enjoyable season for the Saints, but I do have a lot of respect for the club. They've gone through a lot, and they have produced a number of players who have gone on to do better things, such as former gunner Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and likes of Sadio Mane and Gareth Bale. But as the game winded down, there would be a couple of great chances by Southampton, but it was too little, too late at that point. Arsenal would also make a couple of substitutions that were insignificant, such as bringing on Rob Holding as his first appearance this season. Alberto Conga and Nicola Pepe also appeared. So it's nice to see them given a chance to show their worth. But overall, Arsenal leaves the match day at home with a 3-0 win over Southampton. My final thoughts are that this is a game they should have easily won, and potentially by more, potentially by 4 or 5. And they really proved it was night and day between their performance today and their performance the past 2 to 3 games. And I just wish to see more of that. As next Wednesday, they also are at home to take on West Ham. And West Ham has been a bona fide top 4 team this year. So it'll be really interesting to see how they can compare, because I don't think it'll be as easy as it was today. So anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my reaction. And join me next time in the Arsenal fan experience as Arsenal takes on West Ham United. Arrivederci.